Aaron, look at Aaron, and I lose it at the beginning. Thanks for joining us. This is Shut Up and Listen. I'm with Dryland. Oh, wait, before I even forget, we don't have Chris and Morgan today, so normally there would be more people. I would be there. There would be more people here, but they aren't, which is kind of fitting. As I talked to you guys before, I've known most of you for more years than I can count, so this just kind of works. And this is Dryland. Why don't we start with who you each are? We'll start with you, Aaron, and what instrument you play for those who don't know.
Sure. My name's Aaron Ball, and I play drums.
My name is Bradley Lockhart, and I am the vocalist of the band.
Ryan Clapper, guitar, one of the Black SGs.
Brian Greer, guitar.
The other one.
Yeah.
Holly Hethman, bass.
And we have
Slade the Blade
Slay the Blade.
nice
on the pacifier.
On the pacifier. I love it.
Yeah.
He likes
So-
to dance.
Thank you. Closer.
Okay, so we have Dryland. How are you guys doing?
We are well.
You guys are all
man.
good?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming out. I know, have any of you guys been here before? You were talking about you were here, 30 years ago, 25 years ago?
Yeah.
Is it for Binge?
Yep.
I feel like we had a memory in the car that our friend's band in high school, Elroy's Furnace, was recording an album here.
Okay.
And we came out and maybe did some backup vocals.
For sure.
Yeah, and we saw the picture of young baby
There's
Eric
proof.
on the walls.
They did
was?
record here.
Definitely
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so that was it. Yeah.
We definitely
Yeah.
figured that out.
We
The-
didn't make a record here, but we were here. Yeah.
The wall.
Metal screaming over there.
I really love the wall because you can just see all these people that like Logan or Joel Myrene, and when they're in '84, and kind of all this little bits of history that have been going on for years and years and years, and now people own restaurants and are nurse and Wenatchee, and everybody's kind of gone on with their lives. So we have already lost Holly. We're trying to. We don't have a camera for Holly. She has jumped off to the side.
They'll be back.
I guess, before we get into the whole Dryland family band scene, everybody here has been involved with music and other things for years. So kind of why don't you talk about some of the past projects you've had that people might know you from? Again, Aaron, we'll start on your side. I mean, I can't even. Do you want me to start? There's Binge.
Do you have an hour? Do you have an hour?
We can
Probably
go with
for each of
Sharpie.
them.
Yeah, how long we
the
got?
epic Bat Farm. Oh, God, that was awesome.
Yeah, why don't we just have you and then
Okay,
we'll
there we
fill
go.
in- We'll
Yeah.
fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Forget stuff.
No,
Yeah, we're
because I
quizzing you,
will
Brent.
forget some.
That's fine.
But because I was thinking I've known Aaron, because you lived on High Street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've known each other since '94.
Yep.
When you were in Bat Farm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Bat Farm, right pre-Bat Farm. That would have
Okay,
been,
yeah.
mid 90s.
Yeah, that whole scene.
Bat
that was
Farm,
fun.
Sharpie, and then Enders. I was in Seattle for a bunch of years, and then
What bands were you in Seattle?
I played in a band for a bunch of years called Neo and Virgin Islands. Those are probably the ones. Oh, Brackets. Those are probably the ones
Brackets.
Recently.
With
most
Josh.
recently. Right, yeah. So Brackets actually played several shows with Dryland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Maybe 4 or 5 shows together. So that was like, I'd known Brad just when Brad was living down in Seattle, known Brad and known Holly from before I even moved down there. But that was kind of my introduction to Dryland, I guess, like as hanging out, playing
Right.
shows and stuff.
So before, we get much further, when did Dryland start? I was trying to remember this, and it just always seemed like Dryland was there.
2014.
2014.
Yeah, we started practicing around 2013, but the first show was probably 2014.
Yeah. I think it
I
was
got
you
picture
and-
evidence of
Okay,
the
you and
2000.
Holly started the band, and then and Ryan's brother Luke was in the band for a while, and then I was the 4th member, and then Ryan was the 5th member.
I was at at
Couple
least
years
a year,
in,
a couple of
Ryan
years in.
joined.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like,
a
we
late
need
addition,
another Black SG named
Yeah.
Ro- with the
Yeah,
guy
another-
playing named
another
Ryan.
Something's gotta tie the room together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, we needed another Ryan.
I
One
mean, if
was
you
not
were
enough.
playing like, the red with the black pickup, it wouldn't have happened,
No.
right?
Yeah,
or if your
yeah.
name had been Skip or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It
it was,
wouldn't have
it was
gone
part
on.
of the job.
Right,
I was
right.
up to the task.
Right. Okay, so Brad, what bands have you been in?
Okay.
I mean,
So, yeah.
I've known you since 98, 99?
2000, I think.
2000?
Yeah.
Okay. Your dad sold my girlfriend a house.
My dad sold your girlfriend a house,
Yep.
yeah, and I think that's famously how we got our band's first review in What's Up.
Yeah, oh
Because
yeah.
we definitely
Yeah.
weren't ready or shouldn't have been in there yet.
What did it say?
It was great. It was pretty positive, yeah.
You guys
So-
are so enthusiastic. It's
Yeah,
probably
we were
what I
very
say or something.
enthusiastic. We were teenagers, 16 years old, writing songs about pirates, and it was a pretty positive review. So these two guys and I actually started a band in 2000 called the Offbeats,
Yeah, okay.
and then we went on to become the Market Zeros, then the Mark.
Right.
Yeah.
We kind of
The Mark.
evolved from pop punk to post punk to rock and roll, just different genres over the years.
Yep.
After that, I started, and then Ryan and I started Black Eyes and Neckties
Right.
in 2002. Again, while I was still in high school. And then after those bands dissolved, I was in kind of a folky country rock band called Baltic Cousins for a number of years.
Yep.
And then I think, and all these bands kind of overlap by like 6 months. You know,
Right.
you can
Yeah,
kind of see
yeah.
a band about to end, so you're like, I better start another one. So
Right.
I've never not been in a band. Like,
Really?
I've constantly been in bands since I was 15.
Wow.
But
Yeah. Same with me.
yeah, so and these guys, I mean, I guess I named a few of the bands that they were in.
Yeah,
just
you've
now.
done most of the work for us. Now.
But
That's actually-
you guys both collectively have been in a handful of others.
That's
So
true.
fill in the blank from what I missed in your career.
Sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Clapper.
Well, we played in Totalizer together for a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
with Nick Dillon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to
boy
somebody
Kyle
about how
Rowe.
great that band was just like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
It was
Awesome.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, we miss
we
it.
Played a lot of stuff out at Little Wisco too. We had Andy Beer in the band. And,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
We kind of evolved into Saganist for a
Yeah,
bit there.
another band called Saganist as well.
Played the What's Up 20th
Yeah.
birthday as an emergency because Charlie had broken his ankle.
That's right. Yeah. Oof. That's I remember
That was a gnarly one. Ryan had flown out. Everybody's like, who the bleeper? We talk about Charlie McCoy, who was in Sharpie.
Yeah, yeah.
Ryan
And
was so
Glenn
excited to play
Clocks.
too.
He was
Yeah.
so
Bummer
pumped
for him.
about
I was
that,
going to
yeah.
play in Marijuana that night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You
Yeah,
and Ryan
ended up
Willard, who had been in Wastelanders.
Charlie
And,
to the hospital.
yeah,
so.
right.
Yeah.
Clapper, there's a few bands you missed though.
Yeah.
Yeah. there's
Oh,
a few.
that I was just trying to name the ones that me and him have been.
But now,
in.
what else have you been in?
Have you always played Black SGs?
Oh, well, I started on bass and the Mark and stuff, so I had a black Stingray back then. But
okay,
mostly
okay.
black instruments,
Trebly
I guess.
bass. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But yeah, when I'm not playing with these guys, I guess I've just been in a lot of hardcore and metal bands.
Like who?
Leatherhorn with Jeff Kostelik and Noah Burns, my boy Jerns. Mm-hmm. Torero was a hardcore band I was in, and Tear Man Apart. All those
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
all those guys moved to Oakland, so like all my bands broke up at the same time. So
You were in three at once.
yeah,
though.
we had a going away show that was like
All the
going
bands?
away, Torero, Tear Man Apart, like beat to fucking death or something.
Oh, shit, that's right.
All on the same
Yep.
poster. And it's like going away. This sucks. Whatever.
to Oakland. Can we say fuck on this?
We
interview?
can.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Clapper's
lovely.
band was called
Fuck
Beat
yeah.
to Fucking Death. No, that
No,
wasn't your
no,
band.
that was Zach's band.
It was another
That was
band.
Zach's band, yeah.
But
Sorry, my bad.
I was just gonna say beat to death, and I was like, why? I'm not gonna
No.
censor him.
They'll beep
art,
it if
dog.
they have to. Yeah.
Okay, now Ryan, there's a few that you have been in.
Yeah, there's a few
have
bands
not
that I've been
mentioned.
in that were not mentioned as well. I was in USS Horsewhip. I played bass during
that's
that
right.
time.
Forgot about that.
I was in a band called the Thrift Shop Junkies as the drummer. I did some shows with them.
Technically, you were in the band.
Technically, I was in that
For a
band.
little while.
Yeah, I had a pirate name and everything. It was
Played drums.
R. Yeah, played drums. Let's see. I've also been in a band called Rookery that
yes.
these folks have not also. And I'm currently playing in a band called Future Tense that's based out of Seattle with some folks that we've connected with throughout
Great
the
punk
years.
rock band. They're playing all kinds of great shows in Seattle.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Really ripping it up.
Okay.
It's been
And
fun.
Clapper has another active band at the moment.
Yeah, that's
Clapper.
right.
I do, yeah. Fog Bodies
Fog
with
Bodies.
Jason Sands
Jason Sands
on drums.
plays drums.
That's great.
Yeah.
How was
Yeah, our
Jason?
singer Tracy's great.
It's kind of a more art rock band.
Yeah,
Sweet. I love how you're like getting the questions.
Get all
like,
the plugs
You know
in.
exactly which
I'm
stuff.
trying to fill in all the blanks for these
Right.
guys because I know they're going to skip over.
we got too many.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Holly?
Oh, yeah. Here, we'll
Oh
swap out.
shoot, Holly! Yeah, what bands have you been in besides Dryland Family Have a Child Band?
Baby swap. Long time ago. Miscut Keys.
You need to talk closer into the mic there.
Miscut Keys. Black Sparks. Inspired by the drink. And Whammies with
Whammies.
LP.
Whoa, is that the one with LP?
Jason
Yeah.
Sands.
Oh,
Okay.
Jason Sands, there you
yeah,
go.
I
Yeah,
remember
Brooke.
that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Forgot Brent Sweat.
And Ryan was also in Brunette Sweat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I played in that band a couple times when you were gone, but they never taught me the songs. They would just say, "This one's an A," just kind of make stuff up. And be like, "Okay, this is a weird way to play a show."
They would book shows without asking if anybody else was free for the show. And so whoever was there just played.
We're not getting your commentary on the mic, Ryan, but we appreciate it.
I know this is all kind of
I
back.
believe you.
But now you're all also as a family band,
Yes.
which is just Dryland, but it's a Dryland family band.
It is a family band. We have children that have been birthed via the band. Ryan Clapper and I met in like second grade, third grade, 30 years ago, and so we always approach it as a Partridge Family style band.
What was the thing that started to build? You were talking about the building blocks of the band, but how did one connect with another, or what was the sequence or the why of people started to play together?
What do you think?
Yeah, I just started writing these riffs after I said earlier, after like Torero, Leatherhorn, all these bands I was in broke up, and wanted to do something like heavy, but maybe a little bit more like catchy, I guess.
Right.
Maybe not as aggressive vocals wise.
Right.
And
Yeah, my vocals are less aggressive than what he
and
was
I
people
used to.
still
like
say,
that.
"Oh, he screams so much." I'm like, you should hear my boys like
Yeah, I
Jeff Costello
I sound like
stuff.
Celine Dion compared to his past vocalists.
Yeah.
Great shoes.
So, I mean, I can't remember what really the goal. I guess I was listening to a lot of Sword at the time, and kind of want to do something kind of FedEx-ish too. I mean,
Right.
they're always an influence, local boys.
Yeah, and it was really mid-tempo, I think, was one
Yeah, I
of
was trying to keep it really slow, kind of stoner rock and stuff.
Right.
It evolved after that. But
Yeah, it's gotten
that's
more
how it started.
complicated.
And
Yeah.
then so you connected with
chaos.
who did you connect with?
Chaos.
Who did you connect with first?
Oh, I think it was Luke.
Oh, okay.
Chaos.
Oh.
Pure chaos.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Temper tantrum band.
Yeah.
I was just so mad about that question.
Really angry about
So Luke before Holly.
With Luke, and then I think I was looking for a bass player, and my buddy Kyle Rowe had seen Holly play in like a cover band. I don't know if it was like a Joy Division cover band or no, probably wasn't that. But he was like, Holly's a really good bass player. You should get Holly. And I was like, oh yeah, forgot Holly plays bass. Yeah, let's do it.
And I think you were like, hey, you like Royal Thunder. I like
Thunder.
Royal
There you go.
Thunder.
Okay.
That's
Catalyst.
Kind of
Yeah.
want to start a band that sounds like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And you were like, it's got to be bass heavy.
If I'm going to be in it, I have to be the main character.
I remember you were kind of drunk at the shakedown one day, and you said that to me like 100 times. Clapper,
This-
it's got to be bass heavy.
the shakedown.
The bass
which
will be pretty heavy.
Holly is owner, runs, and
Proprietor. Of
Proprietor,
local
that
music
would be
venue.
it.
12
Yes.
years in now?
12 years.
12 years.
Yes, that's right.
Good run.
Unbelievable.
They don't usually
run.
last that long.
No, that's pretty insane that it's been 12 years. Whoever inspired you to do that must be awesome.
I know. I feel like I have this little bird on my shoulder encouraging me to do all of the
All these things that you're
things
doing.
that I'm doing now.
Whoever that is must be just super rad.
Yeah.
So you three started, you're going,
Yeah.
kind of working, and playing. How often were you playing though? As you're kind of
Playing shows or
no,
practicing?
just even practicing. I mean, that's part of what's going on here. Is like you are no longer kids in your early 20s where you can just practice 4 nights a week because you have
Yeah.
nothing else to do. I mean, there's lives that are going, and that's part of why I really like the story of you guys, besides knowing all of you and thinking you're wonderful and your music's wonderful, but that you've done it as more adults than you would have been at 22 or, sitting drinking at the ranch room talking about what you're going to do with the music or something like that. So were you kind of just, slowly building and getting together and
No, I think we were trying to jam once a week. That's kind of what I keep it to. Like you said, getting older, we can't do 2 or 3 days a week of practice. But I always feel like one day a week, hey, we can get together and just play for an hour, even with busy schedules, and that's usually all you need to, get the
practice is part of being in the band. It's one of the more satisfying. Aaron, just the other day, you were just saying this is one of my favorite parts of the week.
Yeah,
is just smashing the drums because he commutes from Seattle to Seattle for his job, and he has twins, and it's life is chaos sometimes. But practice, we practiced all through COVID, knowing we were never going to play a show.
Right.
Every week, as soon as it was safe, right? Every week we practiced, just because it was just therapeutic for us.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after these messages.
This episode is brought to you by Black Noise Records, located downtown off Bay Street. They pay top prices for records in Bellingham and the greater Bellingham area. Cash and store credit. Go get 10% off your next record purchase when you tell the cashier you've listened to Shut Up and Listen podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Binary Recording Studios, located where? Right here in Whatcom County. Binary has been in business for 1, 2, 3, I don't even know how long, but they are offering the best and the best and the best of the best video and audio production. So if you're a band and you're looking to record an album, or if you have any other audio recording needs, Binary Recording Studio is going to be where you need to go. My boy Bob, he will set you up. He will make sure that you are set up for what? Success. He will make sure that you are good to go. Welcome back.
It's a way, as people who've moved on to jobs and careers and whatnot, Brad being the flag guy.
Flag
created
Baron.
The Bellingham flag.
Flag Baron. Yeah, it's a hard life.
It's something that is seen everywhere, though, which is pretty incredible, and I could see it going from, like I said, just hanging out, as I've done with all of you, in the bar, just, knocking down shots, talking about music, to actually, having it being a release for adult life, which can be kind of hard and, chaotic in its own right,
One of the more poignant pieces I thought that ever was in What's Up magazine was the piece that Bo Boyd wrote about Federation X in the very end of their band. And it was called We Do What We Must, and then they named their last record that.
Right.
And it was basically about endurance, as a musician.
Right.
And how life gets better, the music, the shows that you play get better, but it is like a race, that you have to endure to continue playing music into your 30s and into your 40s and into your 50s.
It doesn't hold it will hold a special spot, but not that same type of special spot, because other things start to fill. I try to talk to this with my 14-year-old Ollie, who can't imagine, if you are a touring musician, why you would ever want to stop. And I remember going to the 3B all the time into my early 30s, and then one day I was like, I'm just done. I wanted other things to fill that kind of energy and that kind of spot, but to be able to continue to carve out and not play shitty music, but play really good music too, I think is something that also must take a lot of effort, because you can't half-ass this band.
Yeah, we could just be all in cover bands at this point, playing at the casino.
Which I've done, and it's fun.
I was
like, we make way more money for sure.
Yeah, and we still do that. I'm playing a cover show this Sunday at the Shakedown. But I think the challenge of writing original music that speaks to you for decades now, is like a endurance test, but it's so gratifying and rewarding to stick to it.
Do you think it's more rewarding than it was 15 years ago? When say you're 23, and getting cool shows and trying to record, do you think that is more rewarding now, or do you think it's just such a different type of rewarding?
I don't know. What do you think?
I would say a different type of reward. That's how I would put it, right? Because it's always been rewarding, or otherwise we would have stopped a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's not fun hauling heavy ass gear places, to get paid $20 sometimes.
Right.
And a lot of those realities have stayed the same,
Right.
You get a good show, and then a couple of ones there's like whatever that you do because it's with friends or
Right.
or you get booked on the same night as whoever's in town and nobody shows up. It's usually not nobody, but still, some of those realities.
As long as I can play
kind
for
of
a
remain the
bartender, I'm
same.
good.
But I think I don't know. For me, in my 20s, there was like probably some unrealistic aspirations of what it could be if you like poured your whole soul into it. And then now, decades later, it's like, it's probably not going to do that. And yet that doesn't matter. You still pour your whole soul into it because, like, why else do it?
Do you remember when that switched for you? When you went from aspirations to, I'm not going to worry about, anything other than just making good music with people I really like. And if we can tour a little bit, we can record. We're not going to worry about timelines quite as much, that kind of stuff. For each of you, do you remember when that might have switched?
I think it was when I went back to college after Black Eyes Neckties broke up.
Okay.
Because we had been hitting it really hard.
Right.
And we had just toured Europe. We had just toured Europe,
yep.
and like the band was always its whole life. It was on this slow incline.
Yeah.
Like we never spiked. We never made it famous, but we were always getting better shows, always getting better stuff. And then when that band broke up, and the reality of my life was like, who am I? And I had been doing design for the band, and that's when I was like, I could go back to college and I could get paid to do design for music, which I've already been doing.
Right.
And that's when I was like, I can be creative and I can be professional and I can still make music, but like as far as like my life goals, I can shift them in this direction.
Sure.
That's
that's exactly right. What about the other three?
I think early on, playing music, there was a lot of questions in my mind about what will this do for me?
Okay.
Discovering like it was fun, and I knew it was fun. I wanted to keep doing it, but what will my motivation continue to be to do this? And now that I'm older, it's more that I've found what that motivation is. And I think luckily we kind of all have the same motivation, or else we wouldn't have stuck it out with each other for so long. But just figuring out that what I love about it is the experiences. Every show has the potential to be a unique experience.
Right.
The weirder, the better. Sure. So forever seeking that next weird show. And then the connections when you play out of town, the connections that you make with other people too.
Which still holds true after whether you're in your 20s or, into your 40s.
Yeah. So there are people that I barely know, but I feel like they're really close just because we have the same experience of playing live music together in Seattle, Tacoma, Portland. They come up here, wherever it is. They're lifelong friends that I see once a year.
Right. For sure.
But that's one of the motivations for continuing to do this, because there's still more of that out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those connections are huge. Like I feel like when you meet like-minded people, like if you meet someone that is in a band that's around your age, like you've probably led similar lives, living in different cities, like listening to the same music. It's just like such a beautiful thing. And that's where like it can really roll out whole new experiences for you in your life. Like we were mentioned Federation X briefly, but like, I just did the album art for Ben von Wildenhaus's new record.
Who's in Europe right now.
Yeah, I've animated stuff for Dirty Bill, for his films that have been shown all over the world. And it's like, I met those guys because we played a show, a basement show, a house show. Like we only played with Federation X once. Like we worshiped those guys. But like we literally played one show and I'm like, hello, I am Brad, and it's like that one, that's all it took was like one meeting. Yeah. And then 10, 15 years later, I'm still doing creative work for those guys. And so that's like a huge motivator. It's like meet people that are like you, that whose work you admire. And so it's just a huge motivator.
Because if they're staying with it, then they're continuing to do creative work and being a part of it. Well, we're already well past 20 minutes into this interview.
Oh, my.
So, I mean, I feel like literally, we could all just sit around and once the mics are done, we'll, probably keep sitting around and bullshitting. But, okay, so history now.
Now.
What is going on with Dryland. What, you guys are practicing once a week for an hour,
Yeah.
which is pretty
Try
amazing.
and make it more than an hour.
Yeah. We usually hit the
Hours
bar
a
before.
minimum, but-
We hit the Grand before practice, and we hit the cabin after.
Okay,
so,
good. I
yeah,
like
we're
that.
donating to our
Those
local
cabin
economy.
burgers.
Yeah, every week.
Fueled by cabin burgers.
No, we actually have
Oh,
a
yeah?
lot going on at this moment because we just finished recording a new album.
Oh, perfect.
It's called Weekend in the Swamp. It's going to come out in October. We're going to drop a Kickstarter for it this Monday. I believe it's the 18th, just to help pre-sell some vinyl.
Sure.
We have a new single out already that's called A Dying Thing.
Trips.
We're going to be playing an album release show with our best buds in Melancholia
Oh, cool.
on October 27th. It's going to be a dual album release show because they are also releasing an album that day
Okay.
on Brutal Panda Records.
Oh, sweet.
Get all the vinyl.
Yeah, we will have vinyl hopefully in time for the show. They're going to have vinyl for the show.
Where do you get the vinyl printed or pressed?
We're going overseas because we needed it quick.
Right, okay.
So we got some from the Czech Republic, but we normally go to Canada. We have a friend that has a plant up there, but most of the plants are 4 or 5 months out right now.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That it's brutal for you
Yeah.
trying to get vinyl.
Then we have a couple shows. We're playing in Seattle at the Sunset on October 13th, Friday the 13th. Sounds like we're playing Bellingham Exit as
Yes.
of yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does everybody know that?
Yeah, I think vaguely. I thought you were
Career knows
texting
that.
us about it today.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I got that info on
Okay.
the right text thread.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, and you're playing with the Holy Tail Feathers.
Hill Feathers
So,
with LP,
I'm
same connection there.
super stoked to see those guys play, and possibly one other band. We just
Okay.
don't- yeah.
That's Gruff,
There
right?
was actually
Gruff
at
Brewing?
Gruff.
I've
Brewing.
never,
Yeah,
I've never played Gruff
Yeah.
before.
We haven't
so-
played.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say
Holy-
Holy Tail Feathers played my wedding. Which
They
was
played
super
his wedding.
No shit, really? Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. It's still one of my all-time favorite records. Was the one that they put out. Was just
Nice.
Just always love that. So all that stuff is happening.
Yeah, and it's all been kind of coming together pretty quick. We recorded just a couple months ago
Where did you record it?
at the Unknown in Anacortes.
Oh, cool.
We recorded our first record there, and then our second record we recorded at the Hall of Justice in Seattle. And now we went back
Oh,
to the
okay.
Unknown. We brought Rich Canute down with us as our engineer. He engineered our very first records. He engineered the first Black Eyes record
Right.
and the first Mark record, like 2003, 2004. And then Matt Bayless mixed it, who's an amazing... He engineered our second record, and he mixed this one. So we got that incredible Matt sound. He
Right.
did Mastodon, The Sword,
Yeah.
every Botch album.
Just
ISIS,
Crush
Murder
every
City
ISIS
Devils,
album
every
except for
ISIS
one.
album. Basically all of the best heavy music, especially from the West Coast, Matt's had a hand in. So we were stoked to work with him again.
are you? Are there any hopes of touring? I mean, I know being a family band, touring becomes a lot more difficult. That would be the one thing I think would be like the sacrifice is you're
Yeah.
not able to.
I think we'd like to do like a Northwest thing
Sure.
again. Like,
Which we
Go
do.
to Tacoma and Seattle, Portland, maybe.
just a nice little jaunt down there.
Yeah, we
and-
mostly stick to Oregon, Washington State.
Right.
We would play anywhere if we could make it work.
Right.
And we flew to Oakland once to play one show that we wanted to
That's-
do.
God, I remember that.
PRF barbecue. right?
PRF barbecue. Yeah.
How did that come about?
I don't know. Do you remember?
I don't know.
Conan-
I think again
Conan
with those
Newton.
connections of
Right.
playing music with people and people touring in Bellingham and Bellingham people touring out, we made connections with people who lived in Oakland, Conan Neutron in particular.
Who's playing Bellingham exit.
who is playing in Bellingham.
We almost played, but we had a couple shows, so we couldn't do it.
Yeah, so he invited us down to play in Oakland, and just like it's like this will be an experience.
Yeah.
No matter what, let's do it.
Conan, like Anders played shows with Conan's old band.
What was his old band? I'm trying to remember.
and Associates and Replicator.
Okay,
Replicator would have been the Anders era stuff, but like his bass player for the Secret Friends. I remember staying with him when I was out in the Midwest with Police Teeth, touring with them. So like that overlapping, just connections. Mm-hmm. Kind of, it is remarkable.
Yeah.
There's always a place to stay, and after all these years, you always can go hang out and see some friends if you're out on the road, and right on.
For sure.
Well, Dryland Family Band, I'm really happy to see all of you. I mean, I don't know Clapper as well, but, everybody else I've known for more years than I can ever imagine. So I just adore you all, and I'm so happy you guys and I'm glad you made this work for me. I appreciate it. And, do you have any last thoughts? Give me your last thoughts. I want to hear bits of wisdom that you all will give me as we wrap this up.
Aaron?
Aaron,
what
you're
do we
the
got?
first one.
Hell yeah.
Rock and roll is the fountain of youth.
Ooh, there you go.
Damn, that's pretty good. I like that.
Sometimes your first instinct idea is your best idea in your creative endeavors.
I like that.
Clapper's been naming our songs off of just random things like old evil. He's like, this song I wrote a long time ago. It's old and it sounds evil, so call it Old Evil. And then I didn't know what to write lyrically, so then I just wrote a song about an old evil person.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that on this record.
And
Just
now
like,
I get lyric credits.
yeah, exactly. Like first idea, the first song, the first word you can think to describe the sound of the song, then like influences the lyrics and basically makes the song.
Go with it. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Clapper.
Dude, I don't know if I have any wisdom.
Riff Prophet. What do you have to say?
Just keep riffing.
Keep riffing.
Never stop riffing. Crank them out.
Don't stop riff believing.
Don't stop riff leaving.
That's it. There you go. You got it.
Yep, you did. Holly, wisdom?
Well, this is something that you always said, Brent, repeatedly shouting from the rooftops, tour. Get out of town.
Go.
Go
It's
tour.
The most important thing. It's you can go ahead and be focused and be from here, especially when you're younger and you have the capabilities of touring, but just go. And because they can love you in Bellingham and that's great, but if they, you go to Everett or Seattle, then you actually have to work and get better and become a better musician and feel comfortable on stage, because you have to make fans instead of,
Just impress your coworkers.
Oh, cool, my friends are here drunk and they're yelling for me. It's awesome. And
our friends don't come to shows anymore either, so we got
exactly.
Right now, you do have to.
After 30 years of inviting them to shows.
Hey, do you want to come to a show? We'll get a bunch of likes, but they're not going to come.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, you guys. Thank you all so very much. Oh, would Ryan have...
We should bring Ryan in.
He's probably
have any
got
wisdom?
He's probably
He's
got
full of
something
wisdom.
to say.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna
a big old beat.
stall. Oh my God, that is a big
Good
beat.
Lord.
Wow.
Is that one of those?
Anaphylactic shock is real.
So were you guys Deming? Didn't you meet? Was it at Mount Baker High School?
Ryan Klepper and I went to Mount Baker High School, yes.
Okay.
We met Ryan Greer in late 90s, early 2000s, because we would skateboard a lot in town and hung out downtown.
Okay.
We started an all-ages venue when we were 15 called the Revolution Room, which is where the Pickford Cinema is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was a church that we just threw punk shows in.
Yeah, but Hot Heat played there.
Hot Heat played, Sub Pop.
Before they were big.
Ryan, you have to give a musical word of wisdom.
Oh, okay. Let me think about that for one.
There is a bee on the camera.
There's an Asian giant.
There's a giant bee.
I guess musical wisdom. I would say one time, what Bo Boyd said to me one time when
We were talking about him earlier.
Bo Boyd when we were talking about Bo. But
So full of wisdom.
when I interviewed him for a What's Up article, I asked him, what's your secret to music? You made this whole record all by yourself, Sorbitron. It's awesome.
Sorbitron record,
It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
I love
great
it. Like,
record.
tell me your secret, Bo. He just looks at me. He's like, spend a lot of time by yourself. And then he stops and he has this look and he's just looking at me and it's like probably a good 10 seconds. And then he's like, but not too much time. So that's what I'd say. Spend a lot of time by yourself, leave room for creativity, and just,
get in your own head.
Make the space, get in your own head.
Oh, he's not wrong. Most of this Dryland album was like written during COVID lockdown.
Right.
So I was just by myself, bored as hell.
Right.
Longest I've gone without playing shows, just going crazy.
Right. All of us probably, yeah.
It's a thing I keep trying to get my kids to understand, especially Ollie who's creative. Like, put your phone down. Go be bored. It's good. You want to be bored because then it's going to stimulate creativity.
will start
But
turning.
that's just, I'm dad and we're old, so whatever. And on that note, thank you all for coming.
Thank you,
Brent.
Thanks for having us,
Nice to
Brent.
see you.
Yeah, good to
Take
see you.
care.